Alright guys, the time has come to talk about the totally crazy Best Supporting Actress race of 2000 and Marcia Gay Harden's Oscar win. Hey, it's Brian. Welcome to the awards contender. This is probably my most requested Oscar race retrospective video, Marcia Gay Harden surprising and Best Supporting Actress at the 73rd Academy Awards, somebody who had not been nominated at the Golden Globes, at Critics' Choice, at BAFTA, at SAG. She wasn't even nominated at those 4 big precursor ceremonies. She gets in at the Oscars, and then she beats out her competition, which was very fierce that year. A bunch of beloved movies that got into other categories, including picture and stuff. Pollock was only in Best Actor and Best Supporting Actress, and she pulled off the unthinkable. How did this happen? We are going to get into all of it. All the reasons why Marcia Gay Harden won the Academy Award that year. I've got 10 reasons. Some are more obvious than others, but there's a lot of factors that went into her victory that year for Best Supporting Actress. The way I'm going to structure this video is I'm going to go through that award season, televised ceremony by televised ceremony, because at every single one, we had a different winner. Even Film Independent Spirit Awards had a 6th winner, someone who wasn't even nominated at the Oscars. Best Supporting Actress in early 2001 was the most chaos we have ever seen in this category. Maybe in any acting category going back decades, this was the big one. This was absolute craziness. Let's begin at the 58th Golden Globe Awards, which took place on January 21st, 2001. The nominees in Best Supporting Actress that year were Judi Dench, Chocolat, Frances McDormand, Almost Famous, Julie Walters, Billy Elliot, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Traffic. The winner was Kate Hudson, Almost Famous.
Forget it. I'm flying to New York myself. I've got a bunch of partial tickets. I know his ex-wife, current girlfriend thing is...
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
So Kate Hudson had slowly started appearing in some movies in 1999 and 2000. Almost Famous wasn't the first feature film she appeared in, but this was the movie that absolutely put her on the map. Her performance in Cameron Crowe's film as Penny Lane, the leader of a group of Band-Aids who accompany the rock band Stillwater on tour, shows such a deep level of complexity and emotion. She was only around 21 years old when she shot the film, but her character has such an old soul about her. She really thinks deeply about her place in the world, about the importance of music. She's funny, she's charming, she's romantic. She has her Oscar scene near the end of the film where a tear just slowly goes down her cheek. Every moment of Kate Hudson in Almost Famous is fantastic. It's so lived in and authentic and original. It's the kind of performance that immediately makes someone a movie star. That was Kate Hudson in 2000. And going into award season, she seemed to be the favorite to maybe win everything. Especially when she took home the first big televised prize of the season, the Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actress.
This is so intense. I really had to write something down because I was scared.
In some ways, Hudson's road to an Oscar victory that season just made sense. She was the standout performance in one of the greatest movies of the year. She was an ingenue, a new discovery, and the daughter of Hollywood royalty, Goldie Hawn, who had also won an Academy Award in Best Supporting Actress for an early film when she was young, 1969's Cactus Flower, just a little more than 3 decades prior. In doing my research for this video, I went back and looked at a bunch of newspapers at the time in early 2001. I wanted to see, what were they predicting? Who did they think was going to win Best Supporting Actress? And most of them, guys, were predicting Kate Hudson for Almost Famous. One writer said, everyone who pays attention to news from the movie capital knows that Kate Hudson's biggest fan is her mother, Goldie Hawn, who walked off with a supporting Oscar 32 years ago for her role in Cactus Flower. As often as the relationship is mentioned in the media, giving it lots of free advertising, it makes it likely she'll be victorious. Roger Ebert famously, every year there for a while, was predicting who was going to win at the Oscars, and his choice that season was Kate Hudson. He wrote, "Here the overwhelming favorite is Kate Hudson as the winsome, complicated, sympathetic groupie in Almost Famous. It was a wonderful movie, people liked it, Hudson's character was the bridge between the two key male roles, and being Goldie Hawn's daughter will not hurt her chances." So that's interesting, right? So many people point to the Goldie Hawn of it all. So many thought, well, who's going to win supporting actress? Because Hudson is Hawn's daughter, that somehow gives her a leg up? You know, I find that kind of fascinating. And then Christy Lemire said, "Should win Hudson. Her magnetism lights up every scene she's in, making a great movie even better. Will win Hudson. She has the Hollywood DNA on her side, and an acting Oscar would almost make up for the fact that Almost Famous got snubbed." So yeah, that was one of the big Oscar nomination snubs that year, Almost Famous missing Best Picture. Most people thought even if it missed director, it would get into picture, even in a field of 5, like it had a really good shots. I mean, a lot of critics at the time picked Almost Famous as the best movie of the year, including Roger Ebert's, so it was kind of a snub when that missed in the top category. Like for Chocolat to get into Best Picture over Almost Famous, people were like, what? Like, what the hell, you know? So that was kind of a bummer. And many people at the time thought, okay, if it's not in picture, we need to give that movie an Oscar. It's probably going to be in supporting actress for Kate Hudson. She won the Golden Globe after all, and that's a big prize during award season. It was the first one, and she gave a lovely speech. She'll probably win the Oscar too. But remember, she wasn't the only person from that movie in Best Supporting Actress at the Oscars. Cut to the 6th Critics' Choice Awards on January 22nd, 2001, when the winner of Supporting Actress is Frances McDormand, Almost Famous.
He's not ready for your world of compromised values and diminished brain cells that you throw away like confetti. Am I speaking to you clearly?
So Almost Famous has such a rich collection of characters throughout that movie. There was someone else who not only got into Supporting Actress at the Oscars, but who won another big prize that season, Frances McDormand as Elaine Miller, the overprotective mother of the film's protagonist, William. In the film, she is warm, she is sassy, she speaks her mind, she wants the best for her son, but she's also scared for him. She doesn't want him to go away forever, go on this road trip with a rock band, like writing an article about them. She has her concerns. And every moment McDormand is on the screen in Almost Famous, you can't look away. McDormand is so dialed into that character. She is so present in every moment. Even when she's just talking on the phone, she makes a great impression in Almost Famous. And I do think she was always getting the Oscar nomination, whether or not Hudson was coming along for the ride as well. This is one of those cases where there are 2 supporting actress contenders in the movie that both got in, so well deserved. Now her win at the Critics' Choice Award, it didn't mean a whole lot. This is like the early years of Critics' Choice where they don't even have nominees. There's just the winners, and McDormand won in supporting actress for both Almost Famous and for Wonder Boys, another acclaimed film from 2000 that came out earlier in the year. I don't think she attended the ceremony. I don't think Critics' Choice was much of a thing really in the early 2000s, but it was a televised prize that she won, like over Kate Hudson, over other women who would win later in the season in this category. And because she had won the Oscar for Fargo in Best Actress just 4 years prior, it showed that the Academy really liked her, that they were probably willing to give her another gold trophy in the years to come. Why not in supporting actress for Almost Famous? Most people at the time were predicting Hudson over McDormand, like in their odds and stuff, to win the Oscar. But I did find one person who was like siding with McDormand. Jeff Ross wrote, "The pick, McDormand has a 52% chance of winning. The reason: although Hudson and McDormand are nominated for the same film, McDormand took the prize at this year's Golden Globe Awards. Obviously, she did not win there. She won at Critics' Choice. And I still maintain McDormand is going to get her due. I think if McDormand hadn't won for Fargo, let's say she lost that prize 4 years prior, she still hadn't won an Oscar, then I think she might have had a better shot for Almost Famous. Because she already had one, because she was splitting votes with another person in the category, I just don't think McDormand had much of a shot that year to win the Oscar. Now let's move to the 54th BAFTA Awards, which took place on February 25th, 2001. The nominees in Best Supporting Actress at BAFTA were Frances McDormand, Almost Famous, Judi Dench, Chocolat, Lena Olin, Chocolat, Zhang Ziyi, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. The winner was Julie Walters, Billy Elliot.
Do it again.
Can't.
You do it again.
So Julie Walters had been doing great work for decades. She had a previous Oscar nomination to her name, Educating Rita, 1983, in lead actress. She mostly worked in British cinema, was a character actress, like bouncing around to a lot of different projects in film and TV, sometimes in the lead, sometimes in supporting, and she got one of the roles of her career in Billy Elliot, directed by Stephen Daldry, where she plays no-nonsense ballet teacher Sandra Wilkinson, who realizes the sheer amount of talent in this boy. Here's another very complicated character. She has moments of comedy, moments of drama, very well realized. She's kind of a mother figure to Billy. She's also his mentor. And she recognizes she can actually help him grow as a ballet artist, like in the face of adversity, being a young male. It's not going to be easy, but she is going to work with him. It's such a lovely performance. It's the kind of standout role that can often get in at the Oscars and at BAFTA. And not only did she get in at the latter, she won Best Supporting Actress there, so well deserved.
Oh, heck. Thank you. This is heaven. Thank you very much.
I mean, not to take anything away from that victory for the great Julie Walters, let's be honest, like, it's a British film that won Best Actor for Jamie Bell, who's not even nominated in Best Actor at the Oscars. The British Academy Awards were always going to go harder on Billy Elliot than the Academy Awards were. That film was much more in the BAFTA wheelhouse, so her win makes sense. She wasn't going to be in the top 2 or 3, I think, to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. I did find one person who was predicting Julie Walters. They said, I'm going to go out on a limb here and make Julie Walters my choice as the likely winner. Academy voters love comebacks, and Walters' first nomination in 17 years for Billy Elliot may sway them in her favor. Predicted winner, Julie Walters, Billy Elliot. So in a chaotic field that year in Best Supporting Actress, you could make the argument maybe Julie Walters had a chance. If they wanted to give Billy Elliot something, that was the category to do it. Like, it wasn't winning Best Director for Stephen Daldry. The movie wasn't in picture. It wasn't an actor for Jamie Bell. So maybe Julie Walters wasn't necessarily in 5th place. Maybe she was a little higher than that. But I still don't think she had much of a shot to win the Academy Award. Let's move now to the 7th Screen Actors Guild Awards, which took place on March 11th, 2001. The nominees were Kate Hudson, Almost Famous, Frances McDormand, Almost Famous, Julie Walters, Billy Elliot, Kate Winslet, Quills. The winner was Judi Dench, Chocolat.
Let me enjoy what's left of it. Fill her up.
Armand, why didn't you tell me?
Is this a chocolaterie or is it a confessional?
So Judi Dench was no stranger to the Oscars at this point. She had been nominated in Best Actress for Mrs. Brown, 1997, and she had won Best Supporting Actress for Shakespeare in Love, 1998, even though Judi Dench had been working as an actress for decades, often in theater, but also occasionally in film and TV and stuff. Now, at the turn of the century, she was an Academy Awards darling, and with Chocolat getting into Best Actress for Juliette Binoche, and most surprising of all, Best Picture over Almost Famous, over Billy Elliot. Oh yeah, she was coming for another Oscar nomination in Supporting Actress. She won at SAG for her very appealing performance in Chocolat as Armand Voisin, a curmudgeon of a landlady who loves her chocolate, who suffers from diabetes, but remains a loyal customer of her nearby chocolate shop. This role was practically tailor-made for Judi Dench. Like, she's having such a blast in this role. She's really fun to watch in an otherwise, kind of lightweight movie that hasn't stood the test of time, Chocolat, Judi Dench is one of the standouts. She has some great lines in that film. She has a nice arc to her character. It was the kind of performance that was always getting into the Oscars. Even if Chocolat had missed in picture, I still think Judi Dench shows up in supporting actress. And there was some talk around that time, maybe Judi Dench could pull off another victory at the Oscars. SAG was only 2 weeks before. She won there. Why can't she win at the Academy Awards?
Congratulations to Judi Dench, who is on location filming.
I found one person predicting her to win. They wrote, supporting actress, Chocolat's Judi Dench, another thespian who can do no wrong as long as she plays a supercilious grump with a hidden tender side. I don't know. I feel like Judi Dench might have been closer to winning the Oscar than some of us might think, especially with her movie sneaking into Best Picture and winning at SAG. I bet she was in the top 3. She's not in slot 5 or 4 or something. In a very close race, Dench could have pulled this off. Dench is very beloved with the Academy, and especially because she won supporting actress for an 8-minute performance in Shakespeare in Love, I can see a reality, even though it didn't happen, that Dench could have won 2 years later at the Oscars in Best Supporting Actress. So, are you following me so far? We have different women winning at every major televised ceremony. You have Hudson at the Globes, McDormand at Critics' Choice, Walters at BAFTA, and Dench at SAG. Who is going to win the Oscar? It could be anybody, right? Like how do you choose? There's no clear indication who is going to win the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. You can look to the 16th Film Independent Spirit Awards, which took place the night before the Oscars, but that wasn't going to help you because the winner there was Yi Zhang, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, who's not even nominated at the Oscars. So it's not like there was somebody who picked up a second prize at Film Independent Spirits. That did not happen. You look at the final nominees at the 73rd Academy Awards in Best Supporting Actress, and it's like, who the hell is going to win? On the night of March 25th, 2001, the nominees in Supporting Actress were Judi Dench, Chocolat, Kate Hudson, Almost Famous, Frances McDormand, Almost Famous, Julie Walters, Billy Elliot, and Marcia Gay Harden, Pollock.
I believe in Jackson Pollock. And there's you, and there's the painting, and you need.
Where did this nomination come from? Notice, it's not at the Globes or a Critics' Choice or a BAFTA or at SAG. You don't see Marcia Gay Harden anywhere in Supporting Actress. She gets in at the Film Independent Spirit Awards. She's nominated there, but she loses to Yi Zhang. And then she's nominated at the Oscars for this very small movie, Pollock, which only gets into Supporting Actress and Lead Actor and nothing else. After its world premiere at the Venice Film Festival, it goes on to get a very limited release in December 2000 in just a handful of theaters in Los Angeles and New York. It starts to go like a little bit wider in February, and then it doesn't go fully wide as a small movie like that could go until March 23rd, 2001, the weekend of the Academy Awards. Pollock was that very small movie that just slowly gained in strength, like long into award season, getting 2 key Oscar nominations and putting Marcia Gay Harden in a chaotic supporting actress field where maybe, just maybe, she could pull it off. In Pollock, she plays the real-life abstract expressionist artist Lee Krasner, who marries Jackson Pollock, another artist very famous. She believes in him from minute one. Once their romance gets started, she wants to be with no one else, even though he is prone to these deeply emotional mood swings, alcoholism that comes and goes, and his not treating her very well throughout the years. She loves him and she sticks with him, supporting his artistic genius that continues to grow over many years. She herself has to push her own artistic expression to the side to support her husband, and this becomes trying after a while. When he's not treating her well, when he starts cheating on her with other women, she realizes her world revolves around Jackson Pollock, but his world no longer revolves around her. So her character has a lot of growth throughout the movie. She has moments of wisdom, moments when she should be pulling herself back from this man, but she just can't let go. She loves him with all her heart. Marcia Gay Harden is a revelation in Pollock. She had been doing good work for many years, mostly in supporting roles, character roles that often didn't give her a chance to shine. She started around the 1980s. She was doing work in television and theater and some movies. Her breakthrough film is 1990's Miller's Crossing, directed by the Coen brothers, and then throughout the 90s, she starts popping up in a lot of projects. She's in The First Wives Club, 1996, Flubber, 1997, Meet Joe Black, 1998, Space Cowboys, 2000, the same year as Pollock. She appeared on stage in Angels in America in 1993 and got a Tony Award nomination. Obviously, this was an actress to watch. Somebody who, with the right material, could really come on strong, maybe get an Oscar nomination, maybe get an Oscar victory. And that moment did come with her 2000 drama Pollock, co-starring Ed Harris. She has so many wonderful scenes in this movie. She's in a lot of the film. She's basically the co-lead of Pollock, not really supporting anything. She is a dramatic force throughout this movie. And it's if enough people were going to see it, she was absolutely getting in at the Oscars, maybe could win, but it was such a small film, and she was missing at every precursor, to not even be nominated at the Globes, at BAFTA, or at SAG. That's not a good place to be. Typically, you need to get a nomination somewhere along the way. It's very, very hard to get the Oscar nomination if you haven't been nominated a little bit beforehand. It's possible, it still happens pretty much every year, but it's really hard to get the Oscar nomination if you're not part of the precursors. It's almost impossible to win. Now, as I said before, most people at the time were predicting Kate Hudson to take home the gold trophy, but a few were predicting Marcia Gay Harden there toward the end. One writer said should win Harden. Playing Pollock's wife may not be as hard as actually being his wife, but it's still pretty tough, and Harden's awfully good at it. Will win Harden, the one performance that would be Oscar worthy in any year against any contender. Someone else wrote, Marcia Gay Harden showed magnificent heart as the strong and long-suffering wife of a volatile artist in Pollock. I'm guessing the voters felt her pain as well. Should and will win Marcia Gay Harden. So some people were predicting her, but the safe bets I do think going into that night was Kate Hudson, Almost Famous. It just kind of made sense that she would overtake the rest of her competition. Her film had a very good chance of winning the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay for Cameron Crowe, which it did. Pollock only had the one other nomination for Ed Harris. It was a very small movie. Marcia Gay Harden had not shown up pretty much anywhere else the entire award season. It just seemed like the nomination for Marcia Gay Harden was the win in a way. Just getting in for that very tiny movie, that was going to be the victory for her. It was her first nomination. She wasn't overdue or anything. Nicolas Cage came out on stage, said a few words, read the names of the nominees, and opened the envelope, revealing the winner for Best Supporting Actress.
Marcia Gay Harden in Pollock!
Holy shit, Marcia Gay Harden pulled it off. Not having been much of a part of that award season, she gets the kind of surprise nomination for the Oscar, and then she wins the whole thing. What a moment. It brought the house down. Ed Harris, you can tell, just can't believe it. He is overcome, and Marcia Gay Harden is as surprised as could possibly be. So how did this happen? How did she do it? How did Marcia Gay Harden beat this very considerable competition? Women who had won televised prizes earlier in the season when she herself wasn't even a nominee. How did she beat them? How did she win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress? I have 10 reasons. The 10 reasons why Marcia Gay Harden was victorious at the 73rd Academy Awards. Reason number 1 is the most obvious, and I do think the most important, that chaos in the category. As I've been discussing all throughout this video, because there was so much chaos, there was room for a glorious surprise. If we had had someone in Supporting Actress 2000 just sweeping the season from the Globes to BAFTA to SAG and stuff, there's no way Marcia Gay Harden would have won. Let's say Kate Hudson won at the Globes and at SAG and at BAFTA. Maybe she missed Critics' Choice, she missed something along the way, but Kate Hudson was winning everything. She would have won the Oscar. I'm pretty sure of that. She would have been too difficult to overcome, but because votes were spread pretty evenly, I would say, among all 5 women, there was nobody in that category who was a distant 5th place. Everybody, in a way, had some kind of a shot. That's the main reason Marcia Gay Harden pulled it off. Because there wasn't a clear victor, she did not have to win by 40-50% of the votes. She just had to get 21% to make it happen. She just needed those few extra votes to just barely push her over the edge and win the whole thing. Reason number 2 is that she is a co-lead in that movie opposite Ed Harris. It's not like he's the entire focus of the narrative. She comes in and out of scenes once in a while. Maybe she's in 15-20 minutes of the whole movie. She is very much the lead actress of Pollock. I watched it again last night for the first time in many, many years, and I was surprised to see just how much of that film she's in. In terms of running time, she has to be in more of Pollock than the other 4 women are in their movies. And as we continue to learn year after year, it's a benefit to have more screen time, to have more scenes in your film, especially to win, because voters are looking at a ton of movies. They're thinking about who do I want to give my vote to here? Because Marcia Gay Harden has that room to breathe as her character in the film, to grow and evolve and have many dynamite dramatic scenes. That's another reason why she won, because she's in so much more of her film than the other 4 women are in theirs. Reason number 3 is that she's playing a real life figure. Playing a real life person always can give you that little boost to win the Oscar, right? Going back decades, you see this over and over and over again in a close race. Oftentimes, the winner of the Acting Academy Award is the person who played a real life figure. And in Pollock, it's not just anybody. She plays an artist, a wife to a very, very famous artist too. Marcia Gay Harden embodies the real-life Lee Krasner to such an extent. It's you're looking at the real person in that film. So, sure, there are aspects to real people in Almost Famous, the characters that Kate Hudson and Frances McDormand play, but it's not quite the same as a real-life artist, Lee Krasner. There's a bit more importance, I'd say, put on a tortured artist kind of a character, a real-life character, than there would be those roles in Almost Famous. So I think the real life of it all also got Marcia Gay Harden to her victory. Reason number 4 was that she was a character actress at the time who was very much beloved in the industry. She was working all the time, showing up in big films, small films, doing work in television, doing work on the stage. Nobody had bad things to say about Marcia Gay Harden around this time, right? Everybody liked her, respected her, and awards voters could see in her performance in Pollock just how great of a dramatic actress she could be. By the year 2000, she had a well-known face. People noticed her in movies, going back many, many years, but when we get to Pollock, it's wow. She's also really fantastic when given really terrific material. So it's well, I don't know who to give my vote to. How about I go with a more seasoned actress, not someone like Kate Hudson, who's just getting her start. At the end of the day, enough awards voters said, we like Marcia Gay Harden, and we really love her in this movie, for them to give her their final vote. Reason number 5 is that Marcia Gay Harden in Pollock has the scene. She has the incredible Oscar moment she needed. She is phenomenal throughout the entire movie, but that scene when her husband, Jackson Pollock, says, let's have a baby, and she stands up and turns around and says, I can't have a baby with you. You are such a handful that I don't have the means to bring another person into this world, into this house, into this family. I can't do it. Her tears in that moment, the emotion of that scene, Marcia Gay Harden is on another level in that moment in Pollock. And not to say that like one single moment in a film can necessarily get you the Oscar win, I do think that's the scene that made it happen. Reason number 6 is that there were enough cons against the other 4 contenders to make it so that Marcia Gay Harden could rise to the surface. I mean, Kate Hudson was probably in second place, but Almost Famous underperformed enough on Oscar nominations morning to make that victory uncertain. Almost Famous missing in Best Picture and Best Director. That did hurt Kate Hudson. What also didn't help her was not winning again after the Globes. Like if she had just won one other big prize, like especially SAG, then she might have had a better shot. Another thing was that she was very young. Enough awards voters could have said, well, there might be time in the years to come to give her an Oscar. Do we have to give her one now? And another big thing was that there was probably vote splitting between Hudson and Frances McDormand for the same movie. There might have been people who liked Hudson in that, but ultimately preferred McDormand instead, so that might have happened too. I do think there was enough going against Hudson that her loss in supporting actress at the Oscars, it does make sense to me. Same thing with McDormand. And then Judi Dench had just won supporting actress 2 years before. Do we need to give her another one? I think that was the problem with her. And then Billy Elliot, like Almost Famous, didn't do very well in Oscar nominations morning. It got into director, that was something, but it's not in picture, it's not in lead actor. So it was going to be difficult for Julie Walters to win. I just think there was enough cons against these other 4 women to allow Marcia Gay Harden to collect her gold trophy. Reason number 7 was the Sony Pictures classics of it all. That studio does a very good job year to year getting their actors in at the Oscars. Sometimes they win. I think all the awards campaigning they were doing behind the scenes at just the right time also got Marcia Gay Harden to her Oscar win. Reason number 8, kind of in that same line of thinking, the surge of Pollock at just the right time. If the Oscars that year had been held in like late January, there's no way Marcia Gay Harden wins, probably doesn't even get nominated because her movie is only playing in LA and New York in December. You get to January, early February, it's like how many people, awards voters, have even watched her movie, but because the Academy Awards that year and around that time are at the very end of March, there is that room for small films to slowly build and breathe going into February and March, and that was the case of Pollock that year. It hit with awards voters at just the right time, and that also helped her get to a victory. Reason number 9 was the Ed Harris of it all. I think Ed Harris, like getting into Best Actor at the Oscars, him just like playing off of her in that movie. He's also very beloved. His career goes back decades, and he was on his 3rd Oscar nomination. He had been previously nominated for Apollo 13 and The Truman Show, still hadn't won yet. Best Actor, in a way, was more competitive than supporting actress. I don't think too many people thought Harris was going to pull off a victory in lead actor for Pollock. So if we wanted to give that movie one Oscar win, it was going to be in supporting actress, where there was a ton of chaos, and Marcia Gay Harden had a slight shot to win over those other 4 women, and it happened. I do think Ed Harris, like being in that movie with her, directing that film, being such like a vital part of Pollock, that also helped Marcia Gay Harden. And that takes me to reason number 10, the final reason she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. She is the heart of that film. Don't look to the Jackson Pollock character to get a lot of hearts. He is awful to her. He has moments where he is in a rage and he's throwing stuff at his wife, and she is just still always there for him. She loves him, she believes in him in good times and in bad, and with her phenomenal performance, the heart of that film in every way, on every level, Marcia Gay Harden in Best Supporting Actress at the 73rd Academy Awards was going to happen.
What a thrill. Members of the Academy, thank you. Thank you.
So because of those 10 main reasons, she pulled it off, she gave a beautiful speech, And what a surprise, what a moment. One of my favorite acting Oscar wins of the last 30 plus years. It just kind of came out of nowhere on the night, but decades later, when you really analyze all of it, the way I've been doing throughout this video, her victory is not the shocker that some people have been led to believe. What a great win in Best Supporting Actress. I'm so happy Marcia Gay Harden has an Academy Award in her house for a truly spectacular performance. So what a night, what a category, Best Supporting Actress 2000. I have finally made the video, guys. I have given you the reasons. I have talked about these 5 incredible women and that simply fantastic Oscar victory for Marcia Gay Harden. Just frickin' wow. What a totally crazy Best Supporting Actress Oscar race that was and will always be in the long history of the Academy Awards.